right, greetings. Here with more news. Hope y'all doing well, staying safe, and not letting the current situation of war, uh, you know, affect you mentally. Stay calm. Try not to get too emotionally involved in it. And practice awareness. Okay, keep your head on a swivel. I would advise you to stay out of uh, large crowds. Okay. That would be my advice. So, another service member has lost his life. That makes it 4. A 4th U.S. service member has been hurt and is no longer alive. While conducting a military operation against Iran. This is sad. I feel sorry for his family members. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. But the toll is rising. 4 American service members have been basically assassinated, and 4 others have been seriously wounded during operations Epic Fury. So Operation Epic Fury is what Trump calls this attack. The joint U.S.-Israeli military operation against Iran. This is coming from U.S. Central Command today. So the death toll is rising slowly. We're going to have to stand by. Lots of buildings are being hit in Dubai and Bahrain. Hotels are being hit. Dubai's taking a beating. I'm not sure if they're able to get people out of the country yet. I think quite a few people are stranded in Dubai. Yeah. So I'm thinking I will be here quite a bit covering this. Stand by. This is just a brief update on what's going on. If you see anything going on, post it in the comments. Post the news in the comments. So when people read the comments, they can get updates on what's going on. Try to keep each other informed. You have family that's stuck in Dubai? Oh, man. What exactly are they waiting for? Planes? There's no air service, although airport did get hit. Yeah, the airport did get hit. So I'm not sure what they would be waiting on. Bad man Kevo is in Dubai right now. Oh boy. You can't fly in and out. Wow. This is surely a disaster. I know I have some Islamic brothers and sisters that watch me. I would advise you to be very careful what you say on social media right now. They can't access your location, your IP address. They can hack your phone, your computer, your network. You can end up in a lot of trouble. So please don't express uh, anti-U.S. feelings on social media. It's just a word to the wise. Control your emotions on social media. Don't make yourself a target. They will be scrubbing social media heavy. Yep. They're going to be looking. They are going to be scrubbing social media really heavy. There's going to be keywords that's going to definitely probably get your door kicked in. For sure. Don't engage with anybody that's emotional over this. And be careful around people that's emotional over this. They could do anything. Who knows? Religion. Some people's mind can't handle religion. You know? Good to see you, love wisdom. Well, some people can't handle religion. It makes them emotional. Some of them, it makes them sad. Some of them, it makes them violent. So kind of avoid conversations about this with opposition. Most people, I would say a good 70% of religious people don't know much about their religion. They just pretty much following it based on their emotions. So, you know, if you have family members, especially if they're Muslims right now, you know, if you talk to them and they're upset about this, try to talk some sense into them, tell them, calm down a little bit. Because the mind is real powerful, and when you get your mind all caught up in certain things and get emotional, you might start acting irrational. Especially those that might have a little mental illness anyway. We seen that with the man the other day that shot those people. He had some type of religious mental breakdown. So get ready for the long haul. Get some beans and rice in the house. Uh, keep your head on a swivel, especially those of you in Europe. You're kind of close. So those of you in Europe, you have a large Islamic population in Europe, very large. Here in the U.S., it's spread out. It's not concentrated. It's not concentrated here in the U.S. It's not a concentrated Islamic community all over the place. There's spots. Same for Israeli or Jewish communities. There is spots where. But I live in Chicago, which is like very, very diverse. So everybody pretty much is watered down, except whites and blacks. Hispanics are here, but a kind of a smaller number. No problem. You're welcome. There are a lot of Muslims here, but different types of Muslims from different countries. A lot of times they don't have the same type of belief system as far as how they react. And then you have Shiite and you have Sunni, and they're different. They're from different countries, so you never know. Now, the media has been reporting that one of the U.S. strikes hit like a school with little girls. I think like 125 girls were unalived. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, a lot of little girls were hit, and the people are really not happy about that. They're trying to use anything to rally the people in Iran together. And they saying the Iranians have lots of missiles. We're going to talk about that later. I'll be here soon again, and we'll get into that. Yeah. So he's saying Qatar shot down 2 Iranian fighter jets 35 minutes ago. And news is reporting that Kuwait accidentally shot down a U.S. fighter jet. I did see a U.S. fighter jet get shot down. I think the men parachuted out and are safe. And so he's saying 3 planes. In Kuwait by their defense system. I haven't heard that. The brother here is saying 2 Iranian planes in Qatar and 1 in Kuwait. So I will check that. A lot of these facts going to take a little while before we know what's what. There's all type of reports that I haven't been reporting, right? So it was 3 jets. Were they U.S. jets? All 3? That's a lot of money up in smoke. And that just shows you Kuwait is panicking. There is a lot going on. A lot. So I will check that out. I will be here shortly with a longer presentation. There was also rumors that Rafi was unalived. I can't verify that yet. So I can't verify that yet. That's been going around this morning that the replacement leader, that this was going to be the replacement leader and that he has been unalived. Zane Gaza saying, I heard Iran has bunker busters. They've gotten through a few bunkers in Israel. 20 people are gone. Other news sources are reporting 500 plus Americans unalived. So yeah, it's going to be rolling in, Ryan, rolling in, all type of information, rolling in. A lot. They are saying that Iran has even stronger weapons that they haven't used yet. They're using their older weapons first, and they haven't busted out their more powerful weapons. They're also saying that American fighter jets are not able to refuel, and the ships got to go 3 hours one way and 3 hours back to get weapons, making it more difficult. So it's a lot going on. Some miscalculations with the U.S. military. So I'm just watching it, trying to see what's what. Not really getting emotional into it either way. What I do know, and I don't really want to say, but I will, that if Iran starts to do too much damage, the U.S. will obliterate the entire country. They'll just drop a really big bomb on the whole country. That's what they'll do. They'll decimate the country. And that's a fact. So the best thing would be peace talks, ceasefire. But as far as Iran winning, that's not going to happen. It's just going to be Hiroshima. Do the U.S., you mean people in the United States? like citizens. Elijah, you mean like do the citizens in the U.S. have to look out for Iranian people? And Iran, do the U.S. have to look out for Iran? The U.S. is trying to fight the war with minimal to medium weaponry. They don't really want to bring out the big bombs like that because they're trying to fight the war without hurting the innocent people in Iran. But if Iran becomes a serious threat, then they'll just wipe everybody out. They wanted it to be a regime change, but that's hard in the country. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot more damage to Iran to get a regime change. The U.S. military is trying not to hurt the Iranian citizens too much. But if Iran becomes a threat to U.S. citizens and they're sitting down in some mountains around it, the right bomb dropped down in those mountains, it's over for them. They're out of there. They'll pull out the big weapons and decimate the whole city, the whole country. I'm just telling you. What happened when Japan became a threat? You know about Hiroshima and Nagasaki? I'm just telling you. Do Iran have nuclear missiles? They don't have no capabilities to reach the United States. Imagine you want to fight me, and I could punch you, but all you could do is punch my cousin. Would you punch my cousin? It would be a way worse fall. They'd be decimated. They will decimate them. The bomb they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was made right here in Chicago, right up under the University of Chicago in Hyde Park. They had a whole secret bomb-making laboratory under the university. America, they don't have to go nuclear. They can go atomic. This is what a lot of people understand. They don't have to go nuclear. They can go atomic. They don't have to go nuclear. Do I think China and Russia will help? No. For what? Why would they put themselves in Iran's business? I don't care nothing about Iran. Would you? If you were China and Russia, you'd go and put your country in a world war over Iran. Which one of y'all would if you was in a huge country like China and a great country like Russia, you would go help Iran? You'd be like the hell with Iran. Well, he can only negotiate while he's alive. But once he's gone, somebody else will. I'm just asking a simple question. If you was China and Russia, would you help Iran? Iran is a non-factor. Iran is nobody. Iran is not Germany. Iran is not England. Iran is just a little just Iran. Iran is nobody in the scheme of world global powers. You just tell me, y'all tell me, if you was a big country like China, would you go and help Iran? Mind you, China's persecuting Muslims. Oh, you didn't know that. China's got Muslims persecuting them up there and up there by North Russia. Russia not so much, but Chinese. The Chinese do not like Muslims in China. You better ask somebody. They always going to surveillance each other's military capabilities. They don't care nothing about Iran. If you blow Iran up, the oil's still under the ground. You know, I'm saying, what do y'all think? Do y'all think China's not going to put the Chinese people at risk over something that doesn't affect the Chinese people? Neither is Russia. Russia is not going to jump in nobody's fight that is of no threat to Russia. And the way the European thinks is if he blow the country up, then they'll go take the oil. The oil will still be there. Yeah, China. He said China could, meaning they would have the ability to strike on the U.S. They all respect each other, China, Russia, America. But nobody cares about Iran. Iran made a huge mistake when they unalived 7,000 of their own citizens. In the global world, Iran is trash. And it's amazing how many people be forgetting that this whole war is because Iran eliminated 7,000 of its own people. And America is trying to help those people take their country back from the terrorist side of Iran. They're trying to help the citizens. America got involved because there's millions and millions and millions of Iranians that hate the Iranian government. They have been protesting against the Iranian government for 2 or 3 years now. And the Iranian government unalived 7,000 of them recently. Look it up. And so America is trying to help Iranians take their country from the brutal regime. This is not a war against Iranians. This is a war against the Iranians that unalive the Iranians and trying to help the Iranians on this side take the government from the Iranians on this side. That is what's going on. Nobody's going to say anything. The UN's not going to say anything. I'm telling you what's going on now. So everybody watching me, you know what's going on. So when you hear all these other people talking, you can pretend you don't know what's going on. The idea that America is attacking Muslims when those Muslims just unalived 7,000 Muslims doesn't make any sense. Because those Muslims unalived 7,000 Iranian Muslims that were protesting against the regime. And now America knows that if it hurts Iran enough, it'll give the other opposition side in Iran a chance to take over the country. America's just trying to weaken Iran enough for the opposition in Iran to take over the country, which is going to happen. A few more hits on Iran, and the people are going to take the country. And they're going to get rid of all their old, washed up, mean, evil rulers. Iran government is not a nice government to its own people. It's not. They're tyrants. If America, if Trump and them didn't think that the Iranian people would wage a civil war and take the country, he wouldn't have got involved. He only got involved because there's an opportunity now, just like when the Shah was in there, and that side overthrew the Shah. I know y'all young, you don't know that. There was another regime in there. And the Ayatollah Khomeini and them overthrew that regime and held Americans hostages for 440 days, something like that, over a year and a half. That's this regime overthrew this regime. And the Ayatollah and them was crazy. The crazy people took over, and they've been running it ever since. But the other people are still there, and they don't want to be under the crazies. So now the other people have been protesting. I know a lot of people don't watch. Y'all ain't been seeing the protests in Iran? No, you know why? Because Iran shut down all media. They don't let any media come out. You don't know what they're doing over there. But they was terrorizing their own people. Their own people had a big protest for many days. They got fed up, and they got rid of 7,000 of them, assassinated 7,000 people. You didn't hear Muslims say nothing. I didn't. Oh, Christians too. I have to go back and take the K word out because you know they'll demonetize you if you say the K word. They don't. Saudi Arabia Don't like Iran because Iran is fanaticals. They're fanatical. It's just like you got some Christians that's cool, and then you have fanatical. You have fanatical religious people. Everybody's religious is not fanatical. Iran is fanatical. Everybody that's religious is not fanatical. Everybody's religious don't force everybody to do what they do. The Saudis try to be diplomatic. They sell oil to whoever want to buy it. Iran don't like the Saudis selling Europe oil, Russia oil, Germany oil, America oil. They don't like it. They want the Saudis to just sit on the oil and be broke. When the only thing they're in the middle of the damn desert. So the only way they can make any money is with oil. The fanatical Iranians, the one side, not all of them, the fanatical regime and over there, no, it's like fanatical Islam. That ain't good for nobody. I wouldn't want to live under no fanatical. Well, listen, I wouldn't get along with them none, okay? I wouldn't get along. I'm not getting on my knees and praying no 5 times a day. If you want to pray 5 times a day and get on your knees, then go do it. But as far as you trying to force me and my wife and my children to do it, what, is you crazy? And that's what a lot of these fanaticals is. The Iranian regime is fanatics. And not only are they fanatics, they're religious fanatics that's trying to act holy, but they got all the money. They're filthy rich trying to pretend they're holy. And y'all know it. You got these filthy rich people trying to pretend that everything is about Allah, but they are rich. They run everything. They control all the economy. They live in big old Islamic castles. You think that leadership don't live just as good as a sinner? They talking all of that holy stuff, and they living like kings and like anybody else. But they got you praying all day, poor, praying to Allah all day, while they rich. Yeah, they praying too on silk rugs. Facts. Y'all don't think they greedy, super rich over the people? Y'all don't think the Iranian leadership live better than the people? Y'all think they live the same? Huh? Y'all think just because they're pretending they're an Islamic country, you think they leadership ain't robbing the people blind and living better than the people? When the 9/11 happened, them leaders was laughing at the terrorists that lost their life. They was laughing at them. They be sending their people on what we call in Chicago, we call it dummy missions. He'd sit back on his high horse and send you to on dummy missions where you're going to lose your life and you're going to be the suicide bomber. Why he don't go do it? Why don't none of them go do what they tell the poor people that they brainwash with their religion? Why don't go do it? They ain't going to do nothing. There ain't no righteous place. Don't you know most fanatical religions are Luciferians? Facts. According to this book, the 4 great religions in the world are ran by Lucifer. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and Brahmanism is the devil. According to this book right here, Islam and Christianity are ran by Lucifer. Judaism and Brahmanism. If you look at the world, those are the 4 beasts that's destroying this world. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me the four major religions aren't behind all of this. I challenge you. And this is the Christians, and this is Judaism and Christianity fighting Islam and people losing their lives. Tell me I'm lying. This is religions on both sides. The rich people from the religions. The rich people from the religions. I'm making the poor people in religion do their fight. And religion is ran by Lucifer. Yes, it is. And talks about the angels coming back. When you eat animals, the angels come back. I mean, the demons come back. The ghost, which y'all call spirit, the ghost part, and they be eating with you. As a matter of fact, they were saying, when you passed away, your vibe would go, right? And then wait for you to have a baby or something and come and live in a baby. And they said when people start eating meat, instead of your vibe when you passing away, the angelic part of you, they start turning back around and come eat the meat. And it turned the angelic vibe in you, it turned them all demons. He was a man. The man that wrote this, he was a man, and he was at home. And the angel came to him and told him, stop eating meat. So he went to work. He told his friend, he said, something, I think it was an angel came and told me stop eating meat. And the dude told him, try it. So he stopped eating meat. And then 7 years later, the angel came back and told him, buy a typewriter. He said, I can't type. He told him, buy a typewriter. And he bought a typewriter. He typed that whole book with no errors. And he can't type. He couldn't type a lick. And he typed the whole book with no errors. And according to what he typed, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and Brahmanism is the four major demons for Lucifer. Lucifer's armies. And you wonder why the Christians and the Judaism and Christianity going to war with Islam. And India, who fighting? Islam against Brahmanism. Right now in India, the same thing. Pakistan and India ready to go to war too. Two religions. Two religions. That's just on another side. We wasn't really going there, but hey, people need to learn. So ain't nothing righteous going on. It ain't no, okay? Nobody care what they like. That's what's going on. Righteous people don't have wars. Righteous people have to defend themselves from aggression and end up in wars. But righteous people don't go around starving stuff. Righteous people not going to go take all your food and eat it and you don't got nothing to eat. None of these wars do nothing but send a common man to the slaughter. Everybody that's fighting is poor on both sides. Ain't none of these rich dudes that's getting all the money, ain't none of them fighting. Trump and all them politicians ain't going to fight, and them top Iranians ain't going to fight either. They're going to send the poor people. All the people is poor. All the people is working people that's out there doing all the fighting. Tell me I'm lying. Both sides is the same people, don't even know it. The people that's fighting for Iran is just like the people fighting for America, the bottom feeders. While the rich sit up there and wait to see who's going to get the spoils. And Iran ain't going to do nothing for them soldiers and their family, and America ain't going to do nothing for their soldiers and their family. You're just going to be gone. They're going to put you out in the cemetery. And whoever wins, the soldiers ain't going to get none of the spoils. The government going to get all the spoils on either side. If I'm lying, I'm flying. So when brothers come over here, keep telling me about their religion, you just a sucker. You ain't never met Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, Buddha, none of them. You don't even know them. And they never talk to you, ever. And they never do nothing for you, ever. You never met them. They ain't helping you pay none of your bills. And when you get sick, you don't go to no God. You go to the hospital. Why God don't fix it? Go pray and get well. As soon as I got over here, I had Islamic lunatics coming over here, want to argue with me over something they ain't got nothing to do with, and they ain't going to get nothing from it. These people fighting over money. They fighting over oil. That's all they fighting over. Every fight is oil. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela. They all sitting around the oil. Tell me that everybody that's been fighting ain't sitting around the oil. How much oil in Iraq and Iran? How much oil in Saudi Arabia? How much oil in Venezuela? How much oil? And you ain't going to see the Rothschilds and them. They ain't going to fight. What you mean, what's the true way of life? The true way of life, look, what do you have to do to stay alive? You need a roof over your head, right? You need water, right? You need food, right? You need a woman to get pregnant so more people be here, right? Okay. Where do God or any of that come into that? Every day, all you're doing is putting what they call food on the table and a roof over your head. That's it. You're not really doing nothing religious in your life. You don't get up and go to religion. You get up and go to work. And when you do go to religion, they need money because they need a roof over their religious head too. Because the mosque and the church ain't nothing but a roof over your head where the bills got to be paid so you can go in there and pretend you're praying to God. But if you don't pay no bills, you won't have no mosque, you won't have no church, you won't have no synagogue. The only way you're going to go to the mosque, the church, or synagogue is pay the bills, okay? If you don't pay the bills, There is no house of God. The house of God costs money. Show me one house of God or Allah or Jehovah that don't cost money. It costs money. So you taking your money for a roof over your head and you putting a roof over a bunch of losers' head to go pray. Like God is stupid and they ain't gonna hear you unless you go to this building. Because those religions wasn't supposed to be praying to no God and nothing like that. I was talking to a lady and she said, the house of the Lord. I told her the Lord got too many houses. Why the Lord got all these houses with all these homeless people out here? How many homeless people they let sleep in the mosque, sleep in the synagogue, or sleep in the church? They leave them outside, don't they? But they holy, right? They'll leave that church empty until next Sunday with homeless people everywhere. That's righteous. The Rastafari got movement, got many matches. Rastafari movement ain't got nothing but some weirdos with head wraps on talking stupid. Misteaching Haile Selassie, turning Haile Selassie into a church. Haile Selassie ain't no damn church. Haile Selassie was the emperor that ran a country, and Rastas can't run nothing. Always talking about the image of His Majesty. Well, if you is like His Majesty, where your damn country at? You Rastas ain't on nothing. Rastas a bunch of losers too. Rastas is a bunch of losers. It's a loser philosophy that they ain't even standing on. Can't build nothing, ain't doing nothing. Don't got no schools, not building no homes, don't have no businesses, don't build no cities, don't build nothing. Just stand around beating a bongo, smoking ganja. Tell me I ain't a bunch of losers. Another nut philosophy. A bunch of losers that was raised as Christians became Rastas and brought their loser Christianity concept into Rastafari. Rastafari was never supposed to be no churchical nonsense. Rastafari was supposed to be basically a concept of black people do for themselves. It wasn't supposed to be no sitting around praying, reading the Bible all doggone day. We never read the Bible for religious reasons. We used the Bible to show the history on who had dreadlocks. This had dreadlocks. See, dreadlocks is here. They then took it and turned it into some long dreadlock church women with dresses and hair wraps on. That ain't got nothing. Can't defend their nation or nothing. Talking about His Majesty fought against Italy, and the Rastas can't fight against the Crips, can't beat the Crips. Talking about you in the image of His Majesty, and His Majesty had churches and schools in the whole country, and you ain't got nothing. Some bum ass dudes that ruined Rastafari, turned it into a church when it wasn't never supposed to be no church. You would walk around with a doggone head wrap on your head looking like a girl. Rastas ain't nothing. That ain't Rastafari what they practice. That's not the Rastafari concept that them weirdos in the Caribbean practice. And that's Christianity they practice. Soon as all the elders was gone, all them bums ran up in the Coptic church. They all be in the Coptic church praying. Old original Rastas didn't like the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. It was the Ethiopian Orthodox Church that was talking against His Majesty on the radio the day His Majesty left the throne. The church was chanting him down. The church turned on His Majesty. Y'all black, y'all people out there watching me, them Rastas, that's not real Rasta concept. Them is religious fanatics. Those are religious nuts just like all the other religious nuts. Rasta was never supposed to be no religion. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, the Pope made a suggestion that he would be willing to list us as a religion, and we said no. These new bum Rastas, they would say yes. They're not practicing true Rastafari teachings. Rastafari is a revolutionary and is just a citizen, not no church, not no churchical weirdo. With a head wrap on, it's supposed to be a man, looking like the I3s. The Rastas now, they look like Judy Mowat, Marcia Griffith, and Rita Marley. You punk Rastas with them hair wraps, y'all should be on stage behind a reggae artist. I'm like, could you be love? Could you be love? That's where y'all punks need to be at. I'm just saying, Rastas is some punks. You know what I'm saying? Oh my soul. Them a bunch of punks. Don't y'all follow them? Why Rastas look like this? Why Rastas got their hair wrapped just like dude? Because they're a religion now. Tell me I'm lying. Weirdos. Ain't never got nothing. Go any city in America, they ain't got Rasta nothing. No, I mean nothing. Nothing. They don't have no health food stores. They don't have no vegan restaurants. They don't have nothing. They don't have no businesses. Rasta ain't no Christians. Rasta's not no church. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Rasta's not no church. Rasta was never no church. Don't y'all listen to these baby Rastas over here trying to talk to the Don Dada. Them is babies. Okay? Rasta was a revolutionary, was a Pan African. Rasta wasn't no churchical girl. Okay? Rasta didn't do no church. Them ain't no Rastas. Those all 95% of these Rastas out here are not Rastas. Those are hybrid weirdos. Okay? That's what they are. Those are not soldiers. Those are not warriors. Those are not Pan African at all. Those is weirdo church girls. I'm talking about the Rasta men is girls. Okay? They have feminized Rasta and they have sold Rasta out to Christianity. They following the Pope. That's not true Rastafari culture. They've been infiltrated by Christians. Those is Christians that turned and got became Rasta and made Rasta fit their Christian way they was growed up. They mommy and they daddy, especially they mommy raised him as a good little Christian boy. So when he became a Rasta, he bought a Bible and he bought Christianity and he bought and made a church. They turned it into church. They are fraudulent, okay? You don't got to listen. I'm telling you the facts. Rastas don't look like this. Rastas don't look like this. Hold on, let me take a break. Rastas don't look like that. Rastas don't look like that today. Rastas don't look like the Ataris. We never looked like that. We never looked like that. Look at Rasta now. Look at him. This one in the green, look, he got a long dress on, head wrap, and a purse. Look at the one on the left all the way. Got a long ass dress on. Look at them. And once you get soft like that, then you could be conquered. So now they've been conquered. You say conquered by who? Here's the real new rosters. It's the new rosters. These rosters got conquered by these rosters. This is how black people lose everything they got. 10 years from now, this will be the face of Rasta. That's a fact. Rasta was a man. Rasta wasn't no girl. This big Pharaoh. See Rasta there? Masculine. Do we got head wraps on? Nah, we got crowns on. Do we got head wraps and dresses on? Like these new punk Rastas? Look at the difference. I've been doing this. You see me right there with Burning Spear? You think I'll let a punk Rasta be in my army with a dress on and a head wrap? Come on, man. Whatever. You see the difference? I ain't just talking Rasta, we was soldiers. You understand? You see me in Hawaii? You see how we carrying ourselves? See the difference? Soldiers, we recruiting soldiers for your army. Not no doggone church boys. Whatever though. You ain't hear from me. I'm original, so they can't tell me nothing. I come straight up out the soil. You ain't never seen me looking like no girl. See the difference? Do I look like I'm gonna put a dress on? And be singing them dibby dibby weirdo music they be singing? I don't even listen to this new reggae. It's the worst stuff you ever heard in your life. Sound like a bunch of girls singing. I don't even. I try to avoid even conversating about them. I'm just showing you that these wars and all this stuff is all religion. They done turn everything into religion. Everything. They done turn everything into religion. And then they have wars over the religion. And they send men out there to be unalive while the religious leaders behind closed doors be LGBTQ. That go for them rosters too. You'll be surprised. Behind closed doors, it don't be nothing but a bunch of sodomy, LGBTQ, and weird stuff going on with all of these religions. The leadership, while they had the people on the front line fighting and being in the wars, but the leadership be a bunch of perverts who want weirdos. Like up there where the Bobo Shanti was at. Don't make me tell all the weirdo stuff came out they was up there doing. Some of them was bank robbers and crooks, so they made them wear black. So they couldn't wear white no more. And they couldn't come to Zion. They called that Zion. I'm telling you what I know. These religions is where the Luciferians hide to run the world. All these wars is religious wars. All of this, all these resources is really all over religions. All of the Europeans that's gonna help Trump and them, they are Protestant. They are Protestant and Roman Catholics. And then you got the Hebrew, you got the Judaism, and then you got Islam. That's who's fighting. It's religious war. This ain't a religious war. It looked like a religion war to me. Oh, it just happened to be Israel in it. Israel is fighting a religious war. That's what Israel was doing to the Palestinians. That was Islam versus Judaism. That's what that was. This is Christianity and Judaism versus Islam. That's what this is. That's what this is. But in America wouldn't necessarily decimate them, but Israel would definitely decimate the place. It's not America that want to totally destroy Iran. It's Israel. And America will let them do it. America help them, and America said, we only want to go so far. But Israel, we know what Israel going to do to the place. We already know Israel's plans. We already know. If they get that way. We already know what the plans is. If they get that way, everybody know. They're just playing like they don't know. But everybody know how Iran gonna end up looking. We all know. People try to pretend they don't know and all that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody know where this is headed. Everybody know. The Iranians know, and they're willing to do whatever. If they go out, they plan on taking a lot of people with them. So keep your eye on what's going on. Keep your head on the swivel. It's definitely gonna get worse. Ain't gonna be no ceasefire. And all you young men, get ready to be drafted. You're going to the military. Oh yeah. You about to go bye-bye. Yeah, you're going to the military. They about to bring back the mandatory draft that stopped when I was like a senior. They ended the draft. They about to bring that back. You either go to the military, you go to prison. Like Muhammad Ali. Remember they wanted to lock Ali up? Yeah, y'all going to go to war by force. Anybody can see where this is going. You're an immigrant, you want to stay in the country? You got to join the military. They ain't going on the ground. They're not invading on the ground. They're not doing no ground invasion. They already trained our sons how to play on them video games. Everything gonna be like a video game. The only thing they'll put on the ground is robots. They'll drop robots in there though. They'll drop robots in there. But they ain't gonna do no ground game. If you know any information going on with the war, put it in the chat. I'll be here again soon. I'm going to leave this one up. I usually edit parts out and just leave the facts, but I will leave this, or I might chop it up and put this separately. It's moving though. That's crazy. And as I keep telling you, I'll keep your head on the swivel and don't go in any crowded spaces for a while. Victory.